Hello, it is good to see you again, friends of Al-Kharid. And welcome to the first weekly roundup. Stop laughing at me!
I'm sorry, I tried so hard.
I hate you. But welcome to the first roundup of the RSChronicle League. And wow, first thing to say is what a week it's been. Very busy for both of us.
I can't quite believe how many games have already been played in the first week.
I know, it's been absolutely insane. Keep getting people to sending me results. Like, hi, can you update the result now? Hi, can you update this? Hi, we got another result. It's like, wow, you guys are insane. Like, the other night, I went to sleep. I slept for like 5 hours and woke up to about 30 PMs on Discord saying, oh yeah, I played him and I won this game and stuff. And yeah, it's been absolutely insane but great at the same time. It's been really enjoyable to watch some of the games, to see games playing from top to bottom, and it's been really competitive all over. But we've got some stats, the leagues and stuff to go through today, and some very exciting news at the end, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Because
some really big news.
When I heard about this, I couldn't stop smiling for about an hour.
It only just happened probably about an hour and a half ago.
Yep.
So yeah, this is breaking news.
Breaking news. Right, so if we start, we're going to go into the Open League. And on your screen, you can actually see the top 15. I know it's a random number, but that's all the people that have won games in the Open tier. This table is accurate of about 7 o'clock. Our stats are a little bit off compared to the tables, but that's fine. It's only really the Open tier that's got that problem. But if you look at the table, we can see Gloomy Q is flying. He's played 12, won 9. Wow.
Yeah, to arrange 12 games in a week is ridiculous in itself, but then to win 9 of them shows he's no scrub.
Exactly that, and like, it's great to see. Like, it's not easy. Or Ryan, he's played probably about 8 or 9 games in 2 or 3 days. It's been absolutely insane. In fact, this table's wrong because he's played. Like, he's played since this screenshot's been taken, so this is actually not fully correct. And also, Lemony Tang's got another win, so yeah. The table's a little bit off. It's shown how keen all the people are in the second division. Like, yeah, within an hour.
It's an absolute dogfight for everyone to try and get into that top 8. So remember, anyone in the top 8 has got a chance of promotion.
Yeah.
So they'll play off against each other, and 4 of the top 8 will be promoted to the Premier Division.
Yeah, I mean, you need 2 wins to get in the top 8. Earlier this week, it was obviously only 1 win, but now we're up to 2. It's kind of showing people are getting going with their games. I mean, we're only a week in. You've still got another 3 weeks to play your games yet. So yeah, even if you signed up now, which is perfectly feasible, like you can do that, message one of us on Reddit or Discord or whatever, and we'll get you added. But you can sign up now and play 3 games, win all 3, and you're in the top 8, ready for promotion. So it's by no means done, but at the same time, it's really competitive already. It's great to see. We have probably 30. I think it's 39 in this league.
Yep, 39 people signed up, and I think there's only about 14 or 15 that haven't played a game yet.
Yeah, something like that. So yeah, if you haven't signed up, do so. And if you have signed up and you haven't played any games, why? Play them.
I was going to say, anyone who hasn't arranged one, we'll be sending a message out just to remind them they've actually got to arrange them.
Cover message to people who have only played a couple or haven't played in a while. So yeah. That'll be going out. But let's move on to some in-depth stats and look at this mess. Thank Glenn for this mess.
It's not a mess. This has taken me all day.
So here you can see the overall win rate for the Open tier between each legend, and then you've got all the individual stats of each player. Obviously, like we said earlier, these stats are correct of about 4 o'clock, I think.
Yeah.
Well, it's now 8:30, so it's a little bit off. I think it's only 3 or 4 games. But if we start off in the overall, Jesus Christ, they love Ariane in this division.
Yeah, well, to be fair, Ariane is love, Ariane is life. And it's definitely proven the case in the Open tier. I mean, she's been used, was it 83 times? Yeah. Whereas, I think second most is Venescula with 49.
That's just insane to me. Like,
yeah, I mean, the other legends have got some really good strats.
I've always said that Ariane's probably the most noob-friendly. She's probably the easiest legend to walk in and pick up. And I think, like, without calling all these guys in this division noobs, because they're by no means noobs, they're obviously, I would say, not as proven as the higher tier players. So definitely playing Ariane is, I think it's a surprise that she's so far ahead, but it's definitely not a surprise to me that she's top.
I mentioned these stats to Merchant earlier on today, and he said that massive swing towards Ariane being used doesn't necessarily follow with ladder. So I don't know if people just think she's stronger for this sort of competitive setting rather than laddering.
I think at the same time you have to take into account that a lot of her decks have cheap cards in them. I mean, the one that we showcased on the podcast, that beginner's deck had 2 Sapphires in and was very feasible to run in even a tournament like this. It's such a consistent deck and it's very solid, but even the thing is, her diamonds, let's be honest, aren't actually that good. If you look at people like Raptor who have Court Beast Barricade, they're really good diamonds. Linza's got her Katana. Do you know what I mean? Everyone's got a good diamond. And I'd say that Ariane's 2 are a bit underwhelming compared. So I feel like that's why she's probably played more. Because
I'm sorry, I have to disagree. Wise Old Meme is a top tier card.
Use it all the time into double Unholy Curse Bearer.
That's the way it's supposed to be done, guys.
That's the combo. But yeah, if we look down, we can see Gloomy Q's stats. The guy who's currently leading. He's, interestingly enough, only really played 2 legends, and that is Veneskia and Ariane. So if I was one of his people that like he's against and is yet to play against, that's the word. If I was yet to play against him, I'd look at these stats and think, right, how can I build a counter Veneskia and a counter Ariane deck? Because let's be honest, it's going to completely ruin his strategy because his win rate with Ozan is atrocious, and he hasn't played Raptor or Linda at all. So
yeah, it interests me because it looks like he's going to end up in one of these top 8 places for promotion. And once you get promoted into the Premier Division, all of a sudden you need to have four viable decks. So it will be interesting to see how he does.
Yeah, definitely that. We can move on to like Spyriag, something like that.
Yeah, I keep butchering his name. I have no idea how you say that.
Me neither, I just guessed. But you can see here, he actually only has 2 legends. Like, if you make an Ariane and Veneskia counter, you take both of them out, like completely.
To be honest, looking at the usage, is like if you can counter those, you're going to have a very good time in this league.
Exactly, I completely agree. On the other side, we can look at Bloodburn and Tyflicky. Whilst Tyflicky's not had the best of luck in his games and he hasn't won as many as maybe he could have, they've both actually been very diverse with their picks. I mean, sure, Bloodburn's only used Raptor once, but it still shows to his opponents that I'm not afraid to use it, almost.
Yeah, and I don't think you can underestimate the element of surprise in leagues and tournaments.
We'll see as we move up, the amount of people that have played different legends. I don't think there's anyone that's only played the minimum amount. Do you know what I mean?
No. So, most people have used every one when you go higher up the tiers.
But yeah, this is some interesting stats on here, that's for sure. Obviously, the ones towards the end have only played one game, maybe 2. So you can't really look into their stats too much. But noticing at the top that it's Veneskia and Ariane, and they're probably the 2 cheapest decks, I'd say.
I think, yeah, they're the easiest to get your head around and build a competitive deck, I think.
So I see why.
And I also think they're the 2 most... what's the word? They've got the most variety.
Diverse.
You can go so many... Yeah, most diverse, there you go. That you can go so many different ways when you're building a deck with those, so you're less predictable.
Definitely agree with that. So should we move on to the Premier B League? Let's go. One word, or one name, I guess. Tankotine.
Yeah, this is the Tankotine show.
He's absolutely flying on top there. Who's he played so far? He's played some of the good players. I think he's played Game Grind.
He has played Keyshak and Sockham.
Game Grind, Keyshak, and...
No, or it might have been Snow.
Either way, I don't think that really matters at this point because this league is actually like being completely run by him. I think by winning his first 3 games, he's got a very good chance of just staying in this league, which you need to finish 4th,
top 6.
3rd to 6th. So as long as you win 3 games, I'm pretty sure in all divisions, like from the elite and both premiers, I'm pretty sure that's going to be enough to keep you up. But we can see on the other side, Game Grind's got it all to do.
Can we have some Fs for Game Graham in the chat to pay respects?
F in the chat. He's actually lost 4-0 all 3 times.
Yeah. Look, I wonder who's going to be the first person to drop a game to Game Graham.
That should be an award in itself. The Grimy Award.
In all seriousness, Game Graham is not a bad player at all. He's just come up against three guys who have been on top 4.
Definitely agree.
He'll come back stronger.
Yeah,
I'm sure he'll fight for survival for the rest of the season.
And we see Freaker play, being a little wimp and dodging games.
Yeah, we're gonna have a word with him.
There's no excuses now, Freaker. You have to get some games going soon. Though,
yeah, I was gonna say, apart from Game Graham and Tank, it's anyone's game.
Yeah, for that second potential promotion spot, because obviously second plays 5th or 6th in the Elite Division. For that second spot, it could literally go to anyone here. They're all good players, and it's actually so close already. Soakum Seal and Snowball have both played 3 games, and they're only on 3 and 2 points. So it kind of shows that everyone beats everyone.
Yep.
Moving on to some stats in the Premier Division. These are a lot nicer to look at than the Open Division ones.
Yeah, I was going to say, we might have to look at how I arrange the Open Division, because there's just too many people to make it
We'll just pick out some specific ones. But
if
you look at this list, then we see the Tanker Team show he's actually not lost with Ariane, Raptor, or Venescula.
Yeah, and that is enough for him to win a game. If you have three solid decks, and you can just win 3-1 every time. So that Ozan deck, the only time he won with it was against Game Graham. So it looks like everyone else has got the measure of that deck. But he's a very, very tough guy to come up against at the moment. There's just no signs of any weakness.
And the only deck he doesn't play is Linza. And then we can see at the top, Linza has been played 3 times.
Yeah, I think Keyshak is 1-1 with Linza, and Goth is 1-0 with Linza, I think. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So
no one else has touched her.
She's got a high win percent, but it's not enough to really get a gauge on it.
Well, when we see further up, you'll see that Linza is consistently got towards the top of the win rates. So I think she's slightly misunderstood by a lot of people.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are thinking, oh, they might have a weapon. They're going to have weapon counter, so I can't play weapon Linza. But at the end of the day, if everyone thought like that, everyone's going to remove the weapon removal from their deck, and then Linza becomes a strat again. That's the way metas work. Like, it kind of shifts that way. And I feel almost as if that's happened. Not enough people are running complete weapon removal. And only a lot of the top gold players are playing Black Knight Titan, which is obviously the biggest weapon removal. So I feel like, especially at the top, bar fights and stuff have tended to be shifted away as people have moved to different decks. Aggro Venescula is definitely a thing, still, and that runs double bar fight, so you have to be careful of that. But a lot of the other decks won't actually be able to stop you as weapon Linza, because we all know, like, you can Tetsu Katana, you get Tetsu Katana out in chapter 1 with a barrel chest, and then you strike and pulverize, and it's a good game. That's like 30+ damage within 6 cards, which is absolutely insane. Yeah,
if you can take your opponent by surprise with a combo like that. I mean, I had a game against Suki where he just completely took me by surprise with, I think, 38 damage in 3 slots with a Linza deck. I was like, yeah, I can't do anything about that.
Yeah, Linza's are very good, but I think
she's a very strong class.
Misunderstood.
Yeah, she's a very strong class, but she can be fragile.
We can see Freaker's amazing stats. One thing I wanted to point out in this league is Snowy Wolf's most played legends are actually not his best ones. Maybe you should play some more Raptor and Venescula.
Stay away from Ozan.
That's my kind of push there. Interestingly for me, as we pointed out in the podcast, I think Ozan's probably the worst legend, purely because he's probably got 1 of 2 strategies, and it's really hard to build a diverse deck around them too. But he's actually 4 wins, 10 losses, which I think tells its own little story there. Admittedly, 4 of them are coming from Game Grime, 4 of the losses, but I don't know. I think
still a losing record.
I think he's not great, personally, and it's shown by the stats. But yeah, we can move up to the Premier League A, which is by far the more competitive one, because wow.
You can't really pick anyone out.
Even
in
this many games in, I still have no idea. Like,
yeah, anyone could go up, anyone could go down with this.
I think that the idea that it's so close is shown by the game's difference. You can see Mushes is on 0, Potty Mouth's on 2, and so is Chili. and Bryo and Bundy are on -2, and that's actually only losing one game. So if I lose 3-1, mine's -2. If I win 3-1, it's +2. So that's only one game difference between 4 of them, and the other person's even. Sure, the other 3 people haven't played yet, but wow, it's like close. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, we have to give a kick to Zaux, Jag, and D-Bag to start getting some games done.
Yeah, definitely the case. I know Mush. People might say like Mush has played 4. How come he's played so many already? But he's actually been. We've given him permission to do so because the latter part of the season is actually going to be filled with exams for him. So we'd rather him concentrate on his studies and not have to try and scramble some games together. So
we're not professional yet. So.
Yeah, you have to give up your studies when we are proper esports.
Yes.
But more on that at the end of this show. We can
Spoilers.
We can
Spoilers.
look at some stats for Premier A, and
yes,
it's a very spaced out kind of legend pool. People have played like between 5 and 10, and that's quite close in my opinion.
Yeah, it's. I was going to say it's the closest spread of usage in Legends across any of the leagues. So it looks like the win rates are relatively similar as well. Obviously, Linda's got a very good win rate.
And Ariane,
just like
controversially, has got
in B.
an awful
Yeah, Ariane's
one.
got that surprises me that Ariane's got such a poor win rate in this league.
I agree. I mean, she's a very strong legend, but apparently she's not pulling her weight in this division.
No, I've got one thing to point out with Musher. Seeing as we've got the most stats on Musher at the moment because he's played so many games. The 2 classes he's used the most, Raptor and Vanessa, are his worst ones. So again, maybe take a look at Ozan and Ariane again.
Maybe these stats that we're publishing today will actually give people invoke some thought in them and think, hang on, maybe I shouldn't be so confident with this deck because it's just quite frankly not winning me enough games.
Yep, and it could give you ideas for how to play against someone else. So if you can see that. So if we look at this, Bundy is quite strong with Linza,
and
weak with Ozan. You can try and take your decks a little bit, expecting he's going to play Linza, and it might help you improve your chances against him.
I think that's definitely the case. But to be honest, I'd like more games to be played in this division before we kind of read too much into the stats. So once D-Bag Adams, Jag, and Zaux all get a couple of games under the belt, we'll be able to look at these stats again, and they should have a lot more numbers that we can kind of read into a bit further. But by far, like, this is probably the best league for me because I'm just going to flip back to it quickly. You can see 3 points is at the top. So Zaux, if he wins 2 games, he's top. It doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter about his head-to-head or anything like that. So as long as he wins 2 games, he's top, and that's incredible.
I've got to have a sorry to Bundy. Apparently, we've just leaked his secret weapon.
Well, tough. But yeah, so Mush is sitting pretty in the promotional spot to the Elite Division, which we have on screen.
This is where everyone wants to be.
This is the promised land,
and it's already showing it's so competitive.
Can I just? The guy who finished top of ladder is rock bottom.
That just shows
what
how
are you doing? Like, seriously? I know he's only played 1, but everyone expects the best player on top of ladder to be good in these. But I think it shows completely different styles from ladder to competitive play, which is great.
Yes.
Naturally, interjection. He hasn't played in the games yet, but we know the reasons why, and we know like he's going to be starting to play in a week or so. So yeah. I think this league is, again, unpredictable.
Yeah, anyone could be anyone. Shout out to Tsuki. He's won both of he's the only one that's won both of his games so far. He beat myself 3-1 and also Wolf 3-1. So that's 2 tough games he's got out the way already.
Yeah, I agree. And Unforgiven's unbeaten as well. He's played his
drawn with his
Team Meme.
Yeah, Team Meme. Maybe some match fixing going on there.
Oh yeah, fixing up the league so one of them gets to the top. Freeb,
I know.
I watched Freeb's game against YX, and after he failed miserably with his book deck and lost twice with it in his first game, he actually pulled it out straight away against YX and won again. So won with it first game. And we also seen another Ogre Brute victim in that game.
Oh,
First chapter.
I think this is the tier where Ogre Root is the biggest problem.
First chapter, YX played KGP into Slime Toes into Ogre Brute, and meanwhile, Freeb had played Count Draenor into Kizaj Tournament into Tuztok Jad. So if you know what happens with these cards, Freeb was put down to 1 base attack, taking on a 15-3 Jad. So he took 30 damage and died. And that is one of the quickest games I've seen in this entire league format, and it happens to be right at the top. So that's absolutely incredible, like, play, but I think it kind of outlines the reason for Ogre Brute needing a nerf.
Yeah, we won't get into that though.
Yeah, that's a different story.
We spoke about that enough on Friday, I think.
We're looking into some stats though. That's something we can talk about. And the win percent here between all the legends is very tight.
Yeah, it just shows that this proves that right at the top league, any legend is viable.
Mm-hmm.
If you can build a successful deck with any of them.
Well, again, I think we have to look at Ozan. He's the most played, but he's actually got a negative win rate. Like, he doesn't.
Yeah, it's only slightly negative in his defense. I mean, no legend is way out in front with win percentages or anything like that.
Yeah, I agree. But again, Linda right at the top.
The one thing that surprises me is Venescula's not been used much. Now, Venescula is one of the most popular across all the rest of the divisions, but for some reason in the very top level, isn't used.
It's definitely something.
I don't understand it as well, because even myself, 3 times I've used Venescula in this league and across tournaments, and I've won every time with that, and yet I still don't trust it.
So,
I don't know.
It's almost as if you see so much of it on ladder, you think it's going to be predictable. But then I think everyone's thought that way, and it kind of became unpredictable in its own weird way. Like, it's kind of backfired on that mechanic's backfired on itself. But yeah, it's interesting looking at some of the win rates of like Raptor, especially one of the.
Well, I was going to chime in about Ozan and Raptor. I mean, they both the successful decks on ladder with Ozan and Raptor are both AP build.
Mm-hmm.
So this just shows that ladder decks aren't necessarily good tournament decks.
I think
because they're losing more than they win.
I think the Raptor stats, if we take out Cricky's games with them, they actually become 5 and 3, which is very, very respectable. So Cricky, stop letting the team down. Team Raptor.
Yeah, Cricky's played Raptor more than anything else, and he's 1 and 5 with it. So maybe take a look at that.
Maybe. But yeah, I'm very content with how many games have been played in this league so far. We've got all the VoDs and streams and stuff, so I know we're looking at doing something with them very shortly, like within the next probably week. But yeah, we'll have to look at that. And, so yeah, we can move on to some overall stats, which are very interesting to look at. So we're going to start at the top
took me
and
a
middle.
long time to go through.
At the top and the middle. We're going to start with the most games played and the overall win percentages between all of the leagues.
Yep.
So we have Venescula.
It's the Ariane show.
Well, the Ariane show in terms of how many games have been played, but Venescula is by far the strongest in terms of win percent. Like, well, 4.5%, or whatever the maths is, I can't be bothered with it. Might not seem a lot in this grand scheme of things. It actually is. Like, she's got such a positive win rate that it's quite astonishing. But we see Lynn's the second there.
Yeah, I think it's got to be a little nudge to maybe those guys in the open tier who don't use Linda at the moment. Just shows that when she is used, she wins.
And Ozan, absolutely struggling. 36.5%.
I think maybe it's time to...
It's time to stop!
No, it's time for someone to come up with a new Ozan deck, I think.
Yeah.
The Hope Devourer deck, I think it's good on ladder, but I'm not so sure about it in leagues.
It's not great in competitive play, and that's the thing.
No.
Because whenever you come up against an Ozan, I know at least I do at the top tier, I instantly think, okay, this is going to be the Hope Devourer AP build deck, and I can take my game against that completely then. Like, I always play around, if you Hope Devour me here, if you Hope Devours me there. But if we had more metas, aka Redbeard Frank being killed, I wouldn't be able to do that. I know Unforgiven's tried to run a Gold Zan at the top of ladder, but as soon as you face a Redbeard Frank, you've lost. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So,
there's literally no way you can win that matchup then.
It's weird. I don't know. It's tough to call what to do with Ozan, because he just feels like he's a victim. He's been bullied by Redbeard Frank. That's what I'd sum it up as. But yeah, the best stat for me is Raptor. Was widely regarded as one of the best legends on ladder, at least before the Revenant, Dark Priest nerf and Wilderness. But now he struggles in competitive play, so maybe Virago hits it hard.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I think definitely. I think before the Virago nerf, Raptor would have been right at the top of the win rates. The only time he ever really lost with Virago was when he also came up against another Virago Raptor.
Yeah, I agree completely. But yeah, we move on to the stat that you can see below me. The win rates
this
going
is the
first and
stat
second.
I was most looking forward to.
Going first and second in the Elite Division. We went through the VoDs, we collected all the stats, and you can actually see there's been 32 individual games played, 12 wins going first, and 20 wins going second.
I don't think many people would have predicted that.
Well, I asked for your predictions as I was counting them up, and you said 2012 the other way. So
I understand that.
And so did Bundy. I know he's in the chat, but he also called it. So I don't know. It's
yes, these win rates include mirrors. It's just any game that's played in the Elite Division.
Yeah. So yeah, first and second OPOP. Is that what we're taking away from this?
I think that's what we can confirm. Now everyone tweet Merchant to say the game is broken. Going second is OP.
You don't need to draw a card, and you should do an instant 4 damage to the opponent. That's the balance we want.
Yeah,
I agree.
Make sure
that the
everyone
sample
tweets
size,
Merchant.
I agree.
And tell him that Glenn and Ryan sent you.
I agree that someone's pointing out in the chat that the sample size is too small. I kind of agree, but at the same time, I don't know. This is very high level play, and this is one of the stats that we use to say to people like while you're at low ladder, when aggro decks are the rage, it probably is going to be a lot stronger going first. But as you climb the ladder and get to the top, I personally thought, before Glenn had a conversation with Merchant, but I personally thought that going second was a lot stronger, because certain decks you need to draw a extra card to have your strategies. Like spellbook decks, I prefer going second, because if you can't find that book, you can't win. Do you know what I mean? Like, unless you've teched in more than one win condition, you can't win with not finding your books. So having that extra card draw is actually massive. But
yeah, that extra card is so undervalued.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
I agree completely.
I mean, you think about it. Ryan's mentioned the spellbook. You really want to get that spellbook out chapter 1. The extra card gives you a much better chance of doing that. When I'm looking at playing my Ozan or Raptor, I'm desperately trying to find the early game attack game, and the extra card's huge in that again.
Yeah.
And Linza, you can get, if you're playing weapons, you can quite easily get a bricked hand. The extra card you've got is massive again. So that extra card is huge.
I even argue that with things like Earth Blast and Earth Wave, Ariane, that's automatically made your Earth Blast 2 damage stronger. Like, throughout the entire game, if you're first, you may only be able to draw up to a certain amount while still staying in the game. So, I think the extra card is actually a lot more valuable to especially the better players. But yeah, that's the stats that we've got for you this week. If you have any ideas for other stats that we can get for you, obviously we're limited. We only have screenshots of most of the games and streams of the top games. But if you think of any stats that you'd like to see, like win percentages and mirror matchups and stuff like that, then we could go.
I'm sure we could do it. Ryan's not got a life, so he can go through all the VoDs.
Maybe. But yeah, any stats you want to see, let us know. But we're going to move on to the section I've named.
Sorry, I do want to go back to one thing. Sorry, to do with the elite.
Go for it.
When we were going through with these going first, going second stats, I've dug a little bit deeper into it. Suki, myself, and Unforgiven are unbeaten when going second, which that surprised me because I didn't even know that about myself. Suki has actually won 5 out of 5 when going second. Only Cricky, in fact, has a losing win rate going second. Everyone else has won more than they've lost.
Going first is...
Going first, nobody has won more than they've lost. Nobody.
that's silly.
Unforgiven has the best rate, and that's won 3, lost 3.
But everyone else is negative.
Yeah, and I only saw these stats just before we went live, and it was ridiculous. I didn't believe it at first. I had to check it. I had to check my formulas to make sure it was right, but yeah, it is.
Yeah. That's, I don't know, the stats can only grow for us, so maybe over time the first second balance will balance out. Maybe it'll go more in favour of second, or maybe win rate will have a massive surge and go first, but for now, second is actually ahead.
Yeah, that's how it's seeming at the moment.
So yeah, let's go to the last, this last section, I guess. We're calling other because it could be for anything.
Well, it's the big announcement, so I think it needs to be called something other than other.
The big announcement could be after that. First, we have logos.
Ah, yes.
What you've been working on all day and you've completely forgot.
I did ask you to bring this one up.
So you can see here we have some logos for the league. It makes it look better. We just wanted to kind of touch on the fact that Glenn's making logos for everyone. So you can see we've only got a few on the screen there. We've got Mum get the camera for Crookie. We've got Wolf with his paw print. Suki's got his katana. Baby Rage for Unforgiven. So basically, if you haven't already, you can let Glenn know what you'd like on your logo if you're in the league, and we can add them all.
What I need from you is 2 base colours, so I can base the background and the outline on. And then if you've got a particular logo that you want putting on there, so if you've got any brand or anything, then I'll put that on. Or if you just want me to use my imagination, like I have with a few people's, then I'll do that. So just let me know. If you head onto the league Discord, there's actually a logos channel. So if you post in your ideas on there, then I can get on with it during the week. I've got most of the Elite Division done. I was going, if yours is on there and you're not happy with it, tell me what you want changing. And I've got a few of the other guys in the Premier League, and I'm gonna eventually do all the Open League as well. So everyone send me your messages, and I'll do that during the next week or so.
Yeah, and they look great. Just want to put it out there. And it makes the site look better. We've actually got the dragon logos for the leagues as well, so it just makes it all look a little bit more professional. So I've actually been told to link the league Discord. Could you do that for me? I haven't got Discord open.
Yes.
But yeah, I'll move on to the big announcement, the prizes. So first and foremost, the champion. We've decided the grand champion, which basically when the Elite Division finishes, the top 4 will play in a little playoff to decide the grand champion. Jag's done it, by the way, Ben.
Thank you.
And they'll have a little playoff to decide the grand champion. And we've decided that grand champion is going to get £20 in PayPal, like just a money transfer to do with whatever you want. We first initially considered doing 50 packs, but then we decided that, let's be honest, the people at the top of the Elite Division probably don't need packs. They've probably got nearly every card in the game, so we decided the money would probably be a better prize, and it's more sustainable and easier for us to work out rather than having to do money conversion rates. But that's going to be 20 Great British pounds.
The best currency.
For you to spend with what you want. Unless you want me to send you $20, in which case I'll gladly do that. Or 20 yen.
Jag's going to spend it on hookers and blow.
So yeah, Mush has looked at it the proper way. It's effectively a free Domino's. If you want a pizza, win the league.
We'll buy you a pizza.
And do you want to take it away for the big announcement?
Yes, well, this happened a couple of hours ago. I was talking to Merchant about the league. He's been taking a keen interest, seeing how we're getting on. And he's said that every winner of each league will receive a merchandise pack, a Chronicle merchandise pack. And in that, there'll be a Chronicle t-shirt, which he is modelling on his stream at the moment, and signed concept art. So that's every division's winner. Already. Every division's winner.
So that's Open, Premier B, Premier A, and the Elite Division. All 4 winners will be like we're rewarded. This is what I wanted, and I'm so happy that we've been able to announce that, and hopefully that's just the start of things to come.
Yeah, it took us by surprise. Like when he started talking about the league, I was wondering, what's he want? And then he mentioned this. It was good.
We're definitely
it was a nice surprise.
Looking forward to moving on and like making the prizes bigger and better as we can get more people involved.
Yes, yes.
But yeah, wow, I'm very excited about that. And just to clarify a point, if the person at the top of the Elite Division then goes on to win the playoff tournament as well, then they will receive both prizes. That's fine.
Yeah. It's the winner of the league season will get the merch, and then the winner of the playoff, the grand champion, will get the money.
Yeah. And Lemony Tanks has said winner of the Open Division regular season. Yes, not the people who win the playoffs afterwards. It's the person who finishes first after the first 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
hype,
and I've seen the hype in the chat, so that's great.
I think we might see a few more people signing up for the Open tier now.
Yeah, maybe, and we should see a lot more people try-harding.
So, yeah, there's some real prizes here, and these T-shirts that are part of the pack, they're not available for sale.
No.
So this is the only way you can get them.
Mm-hmm.
And he won't even give me and Ryan one for doing this. So I tried.
Maybe we can coerce him.
I tried.
Okay, well if he doesn't, next season I'm signing up for the Open Division. I'm taking that T-shirt. Yeah, that's basically all we've got this week. I say all we've got. That's absolutely massive for us.
Quite big
and
finish.
It's one of the key steps we wanted to take for this whole league system was to bring in actual sponsors. So that's the first one, and hopefully many more to come. I mean, second one. The Friends of Al-Kharid podcast is the first one, right?
Yes.
So yeah, this is going to be it for this week. But next week on Wednesday we'll have a legend showdown between me and Glenn. And this week,
yes,
it's on Rocket League.
Rubbish at Rocket League.
I'm going to bring it back, boys.
If there's any of you in the chat that are pros at Rocket League, please send me a message because I need you on my team.
Right, to run down what
we're opening it up for people to come and join us.
To run down what we've got going on, basically the Legend Showdown is me versus Glenn on various games. So last week, or Wednesday just gone, it was on Chronicle. We played a best of 9, and somehow I lost 3 games in a row to lose 5-4.
He bottled it.
I absolutely bottled it. But yeah.
Freaker, you're on my team.
Freaker? Oh, well, there you go. I know we've both already got one player, but what we're looking at doing, I think we're going to do a few best of ones, some not best of ones, 1v1s. We're going to do some 2v2s, and we're going to do some 3v3s. So we're going to try and get 2 people each. I can announce my first team member is going to be Nubcake.
Oh, you traitor! You absolute traitor, Nubcake.
The guy,
you're dead to me.
The guy with the second best voice in the whole Chronicle community, onto my team. Do you want to announce yours? I know you've sorted one player out.
The first player I've got is someone who you don't necessarily know in the Chronicle community. He does play, but not as much as the rest of us. It's a guy called Schmiddy. He's been a friend of mine and Wes's for a long time. He's based in South Africa, and I'm hoping he's got better at Rocket League since last time I saw him.
I am very jealous of that pickup because he's a good player.
So yeah, I'm looking for... I think we probably could do this. We could have one person for the best of 2s and then a different 2 people for the best of 3s.
So we want 3 each, basically.
So I'm looking for another 2 players on my team, and Ryan's the 2.
And me. But yeah, that's going to be the Legend Showdown on Wednesday. That's going to be about the same time as this one was, probably 8, half 8. So come and join us on this channel for that. It'll be uploaded on YouTube afterwards if we miss.
Yes, I chose Kev over you, Wes.
Unfortunate for you, Wes. I may pick you up, but yeah. But yeah, on Friday we'll then be going live with the podcast at 7 PM BST.
Yep.
And yeah, we don't actually have any guests sorted for next week yet. So it's obviously very early. We only just finished the last one a couple of days ago. So if you want to be involved, shoot one of us a message and we'll talk to each other. And if we don't want you on there, we'll tell you. And if we do want you on there, we'll probably bring you on. So if you're interested in coming on the podcast and we're interested in having you on, that's going to be great. But then you can catch us here again next Sunday to do the Sunday Roundup.
Mid-season next week.
The mid-season. That's a good title for my Twitch channel. But yeah, that's going to be it for this week. And I hope you all enjoyed all the content throughout the week. It's all going to be on YouTube soon. TM.
I was going to say, you're going to get it on tomorrow, aren't you?
This one is going up tomorrow evening. I'm going to try and put the podcast up tomorrow morning. But we'll see, because I'm a bit busy tomorrow. But yeah, thanks for watching. And
thank you everyone for popping by.
And I'm going to host Merchant, so you can, if he's still live, that is. So you can all go back and watch him. And we need a name for our minions. The Friends of Al-Kharid, I guess is what we are.
They are the Friends of Al-Kharid.
So if we go in there, we can all spam Friends of Al-Kharid army?
Yep.
Team?
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, if we all go in there and just spam that and let Merchant know we're done here and
Merchant.
we're going to enjoy his stream. He is still live,
Tell him thank you for sponsoring the league as well.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.
Yep, we'll see you in a bit.